It's out toward left center field. That's pretty well hit. It is gone! A walk-off home run for Cabrera! And the Phillies win it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 10th inning. It's the 83rd walk-off home run in baseball this year. It is time to bear down. It's the final month of the regular season. The Phillies find themselves 2 games out in the National League East. Meanwhile, the Cubs, they get Chris Bryant back tonight. They're 3.5 games up in the National League Central. Weekends with Schmidt, presented by Acme Markets, and NBC Sports Philadelphia, the home of the authentic fan, presents the Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, September 1st means that rosters expand, and this is who the Phillies will add to their roster. All these guys are in town, ready to go tonight, including Aaron Altair and Dylan Cousins. Pedro Florimon is back off the disabled list. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Mike Schmidt and Ben Davis, as we get set for the stretch run. Yeah, the Phils are 2 games out of the National League East. There's a couple of things that they're going to have to do to put this away in September. We'll talk about that during the telecast. But one thing is for sure, they need Hector Neris to continue to do what he's been doing.
Boy, he has been so good since his recall from the Lehigh Valley. And when Hector went down, they said, you need to work on your fastball a little bit more. He's been able to get a lot of punch-outs with it. The splitter is tumbling, but I like the fact that he is throwing that fastball a lot more. He's throwing it effectively, and he's getting more strikeouts with it. And the numbers, well, they speak for themselves. 10 ball games, 9 innings, 20, I count them, 20 strikeouts in those 10 games. He has just been dominant.
Well, and Rick Kraditz said, don't forget there's been a couple sliders, too, that he's thrown in there in the mix as well. He's up for relief pitcher of the month for the month of August. All right, so the Cubs, they get Chris Bryant back today, Michael, and that is a huge boost for them. He's been out since the middle of July.
Yeah, Tommy, good to be back with you guys. The rich get richer, they say. Just what the Cubs need is some more offense. Chris Bryant, one of the great young players over the past 3 years in Major League Baseball, for sure. There you see his career totals. What stands out to me, over 162 game schedule, and his average is a little over 30 home runs and a little over 90 RBIs. He's a great young player. Kyle Schwarber also joins him back in the lineup tonight, hitting 5th and 6th, both of those guys. Well, what do we have to do with those 2 guys back in the lineup? We're going to have to pitch better and hit better. I'd like to see us, Tommy, rally a little bit more, you know, tougher at bats, fewer strikeouts. The heck with that taking so many pitches. Let it fly up there. Ben, you know what I mean by let it fly? Jeez, I don't like to see those 2-0 fastballs get taken so much. Anyway, we need to score more, and we're going to be playing against a really, really good Chicago Cubs team tonight, and we've already won 1, so let's win 2.
Yeah, Zach Eflin earlier this year pitched very well against the Chicago Cubs. Hopefully he'll get a chance to do that again here tonight. It will be Eflin making his 20th start of the season, and Kyle Hendricks making his 28th for the Cubs. When we return to South Philadelphia, we'll have lineups at first pitch. Phillies baseball. out nicely from today. The cloud cover was pretty evident most of the afternoon. Temperatures 77 degrees, pretty comfortable. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Daniel Murphy leads it off once again, and then Javier Baez and Anthony Rizzo. Ben Zobrist bats clean up for yet another day. He's had a good month of August. Don't talk about his batting average. He wants to talk about his on-base percentage. 329 though for his batting average. Zach Eflin, he'll take the mound for the Phillies, trying to get win number 10 for the second straight time. He's 9-5, an ERA of 3.99. Ben, he pitched very well against the Cubs earlier this year.
Yes, he did. Average fastball right about 94, 95. Since the All-Star break, the numbers have not been good. He's looking to rectify that tonight. He's got it in him. Just needs to finish these hitters off.
He'll face Daniel Murphy to start things off. Murphy overall hitting 303 on the year. And 317 with the Cubs. And a first pitch is in there, so we're underway. Count is no balls and one strike. See what Murphy's done his last 3 games. And it's 0-2.
Murphy had an 0-2 count to lead off last night's ball game. Ended up seeing 10 pitches.
Yeah, he fouled 4 pitches off before he flied out to center field. And a line drive out to right center field, a base hit. Williams, it'll go off the scoreboard, so Murphy on his way to second, and he'll get there sliding with a leadoff double. Well, just too good of an 0-2 pitch.
That's right. Big time mistake right there. Guy with a short, quick swing. When he gets to 2 strikes, he even shortens it up more and quickens it up more. Here you see it. Boom. Now that's a short swing on a high fastball. A typical Daniel Murphy at bat. His leadoff at bat in last night's game was very much Daniel Murphy too. Ended up getting 2 hits in the game last night.
All right, so he's in scoring position. And here is Javier Baez. Had a first pitch to Baez low and in, 1-0. Baez hit 2 hits last night, including a home run that gave the Cubs a 1-0 lead. This young man's having a very special year on the doorstep of 100 RBIs. Little tapper left side. Cabrera charging. He's going to have to hurry. Has trouble getting it out of his glove. It gets by Santana. And a run will score. The Cubs will take a 1-0 lead. And Baez is going to get the third on this one. Unfortunately, there was no backup. So the ball was flying free into foul territory.
Well, that's a veteran player at shortstop right there. Should have just ate that ball, you know, realized that right there, double clutch, made the throw anyway. Baez is across the bag already, and Osdrubal made that throw for no reason. He's got a perfect view of it, Ben, right in front of him.
There's just no reason for it. Exactly right.
Yeah, so yeah, you just go ahead and let the runner get to third, take the out at first, and you know, see if Eflin can work his way out of it.
So it's a single E6, 6th error of the year for Cabrera. No RBI. And now Anthony Rizzo, who's 0 for 4, who was 0 for 4 in last night's game. That does not deter his batting average, though. Over his last dozen or so games, he's hitting over 400. Little tapper, 0-2. Zobrist and then Bryant, who's behind Joe Madden on the stairs. Just got to minimize the damage now if you're Zach. Cue shot foul.
I watched this last night game. I was watching on TV. It's amazing how much he chokes up with 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, Mike, that, I mean, he takes batting practice a lot of times his normal way, but then chokes up and takes BP just to kind of get the swing down.
When I noticed it last night, he did strike out on a high fastball, but for all our kids out there watching, it's a major league hitter choking up on the bat a couple of inches with 2 strikes. You know, everybody wants to get that bat down in their hand and have that finger over the end.
And then whip it. 1-2. Baez off third. It's 1-0 Cubs here in the top of the first. Phillies committed their 104th error on that throw by Cabrera.
You know, that's the thing we say, you know, they have to clean up. They have to clean up. If they want to play in October, those kind of mistakes, they just can't be made. They can't.
But I will say one thing. They are working every day with different drills to try to tighten it up. Change up low, 2-2. They throw behind Baez, who gets back.
But that particular play, that's not a drill.
You're right. You're right.
And like Michael said, the play's right in front of his dribble.
You're exactly right, Ben. That's a experienced major league player losing concentration.
Yeah.
Two-two pitch. And a bouncer to second base. They hold Baez at third. 1 out. Well, that's a big play.
Well, let's give Gabe Kapler some credit for playing the infield in that situation. You know, a lot of times we second guess them the other way. You know, if they hit a ground ball through, why are you playing the infield in? Well, there's a good reason to play the infield in right here.
And he's been pretty consistent with that all year long. I mean, that's one of those things that he's done a lot of research on, even as a player and then even beyond, on what's better, infield in, infield back in certain situations. And he said more often than not, we're going to play the infield in this spot. Fastball inside, 1-0 to Zobrist, who was 0 for 4 with a walk in yesterday's game.
And I think if you had a lineup that puts up a lot of runs on a consistent basis, then they probably wouldn't be playing in earlier in the ballgame.
I don't know, Ben. I think he still would. I really do. Just based on the conversations with him this year. Normally, though, I would agree with that. I would, you know, that's no doubt the way that many people would do it. Two to Zobrist with Bryant on deck. And a changeup in there, 2-1. Actually, I guess that's more of a two-seam fastball at 90 miles an hour than a changeup. It has the same actions, though. And a line drive base hit to left field. Baez will score. Zobrist will get to second base. It'll be an RBI double, second double of the inning.
So that's a veteran hitter right there. I truly believe that was pre-planned in that at bat. After he saw Rizzo roll over to second base, he said to himself, I am not going to do that. I'm going to stay up the middle in the opposite field. And that's exactly what he did. He got rewarded for hitting the ball the opposite field. Gets a double and an RBI.
That double for Zobrist is 24th, 51 RBIs. And now Chris Bryant off the disabled list since the third week in July. And he loops one foul. It's 0-1. That brings us to our Nissan upgrade. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. Bryant here at Citizens Bank Park. .395 average with 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in. He was on the DL with an inflamed left shoulder. And I think they debated it for a while whether they wanted to put him on or not. And it was sapping him. Those are the words that the Cubs used. Sapping him of any kind of power. Consistent power.
Been there was my right shoulder, and if you feel like you can't turn it loose, you know what I mean, if you feel like you're going to get some pain or discomfort when you swing through the ball, it gets on your mind and you don't attack like you would normally.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
That bat was a little slow on that pitch. Well, Bryant does have a exaggerated upswing, and I know he's talked about it and trained for it and had it most of his life. So that's the pitch right there, Ben, that you catchers want to call, right?
Absolutely.
That ball, in his case, like numbers high when you throw that fastball.
Swing and a miss to the slider. And Bryant will be thrown out to finish off the strikeout. And 2 outs here in the first.
Well, you're exactly right. You see that exaggerated, almost an uppercut. Anything with a lot of velocity, which Zach has, you go the belt or higher, he will chase and he will swing through. There's a good slider here. Very tight.
Kyle Schwarber, 24 home runs, 54 runs batted in, hitting .238. Had a pitch down and away.
It's a lot of home runs for 54 ribbies.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that's because everybody else drives in the guys, and he just comes back with a solo shot. Outside, 2-0. Schwarber did not play in last night's ball game. Ian Happ was in left field. Happ's in center field tonight. 95.
Well, we need to hang his 100th strikeout on
That's
him.
right. Yeah, he strikes out 27% of the time. You know,
I don't think that's abnormal in today's game.
And particularly for somebody like him as a hitter. Trying to check his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Joe West. Oh, they're booing Joe before the game started. Now they're cheering him. The Cubs do strike first. They get a couple runs. It was a 25-pitch top of the first inning for Zach Eflin. We go to the bottom of the first. Cubs 2 and the Phillies coming up. Overpower you, but with anything but the Phils in 5 starts. Hendricks is 3-2 against the Phils. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Well, Carlos Santana leads things off, and then Hoskins, Herrera, Ramos, Williams. As Drupal Cabrera last night was his 5th career walk-off. All part of the excitement of last night's game. There are the numbers on Hendricks. We say he's not a strikeout pitcher, but he has 131 and 158 2/3. He is durable. That's one thing, Ben, that the Cubs have found out over the last several years.
You talked about the velocity. He will challenge you with fastballs, although doesn't have a whole lot on it. It's about 87. Changeup is his best pitch. 3-2 with a 3.58 career versus these fighting Phils.
48 wins, 32 losses overall, and faces Santana and delivers a strike. Carlos leading off for the 4th time this year. In his career, his on-base percentage as the leadoff hitter is .370. And that's 4th among active players who have led off at least 500 times in their career. And Gabe Kapler is looking for good at-bats, trying to get somebody on early.
On that pitch, he could have squared around and bunted the ball anywhere on the third base side of the field and got a base hit.
Yeah, it is pretty wide open. Chris Mudd is coming out. It looks like Marty Foster's got something going on in his eye. Maybe his contact is bouncing around. Popping a little saline in.
Chris Mudd to the rescue.
That's right.
People helping people, Tom.
All right, he's ready to go.
I still love it. The perfect opportunity as the catcher say, you really think that's going to help?
And what's pulled over to first on one hop. Rizzo flips to Hendricks covering.
Now it depended on the umpire.
There is no way that Victor Caratini would say that to the umpire.
No. I used to have fun with him, though. It depended on the umpire. But that was an opportune time.
Do you think Marty Foster was one of those guys you could have said it to?
Absolutely.
What about Joe West?
Absolutely.
Oh, they all would. They'd all go for that. As long as you put a little after it.
Here's Reese. Reese with 6 home runs here in the month of August. Or in the month of August. 13 RBIs. Takes in 1-0. 0 for 3 in last night's game with a walk. They're trying to go in again.
So little cut fastballs, 86.
Well, that's usually what his 4-seamer's at, but there's no doubt he has more movement than others, I think anyway, on his pitches, whether it be the 4-seamer. So that's a 4-seamer at 87.
One thing he can do with his fastball, he can sink it, he can cut a little bit, and he can also do it with his changeup. He can cut a changeup away, moving away to righties. And he can sink it down and away to lefties.
Well, there's the changeup you were talking about, Ben.
Yep.
He gave up only 1 home run in the month of August, which certainly helped his cause. He was 3-1 with an ERA of 3.41.
Does Reese still lead all of baseball in pitches seen as a hitter?
No, he's not the leader anymore. At least he wasn't the other day. Yeah, he's definitely close. Oh no, he's back ahead of everybody in the National League.
Wow.
Down low, ball 4. And that'll bring Odubel to the plate. It's a little different lineup tonight with Odubel back in the 3 spot and Cesar Hernandez batting 9th. And Gabe did spend a lot of his pregame chat with the media talking about the lineup. One thing that we've learned, and I think you could say this about every manager, but with Gabe, I mean, there's a lot that goes into deciding who bats where.
Really?
There is. It's all about matchups, you know, and different feels for the way the swing plane is against certain pitchers.
He went into depth in this last road trip. We were in D.C. and
he did.
And Toronto. He said, honestly, it's way harder than I thought it was going to be, and the most difficult part of his day is writing the lineup.
I think all of us would think it's the best part of the day.
Right.
I used to carry a legal pad around with me in my little stint in the minor leagues as a manager, and you know, I always got a kick out of playing with different lineups. But there were like 3 or 4 guys I knew were going to be in a certain spot in the lineup, every day.
Well, I do think that there may come like Reese is usually batting second. Like they know that he's usually batting second. But I think the other spots, particularly recently, have been, in flux. Trying to find the right combinations. Odubel way out in front of the changeup.
You got me on an interesting subject with the lineup and the changes in the way the game is managed as well as played nowadays. Gabe, and believe me, I respect the heck out of Gabe. I think he's in line to be manager of the year this year. He just does things differently, and we old school guys a lot of times think our way is the only way.
Little tapper up the third base line, and Chris Bryant will throw out Ramos. 5-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, and one man left. We've played one. We're on to the second. It's the Cubs 2 and the Phillies nothing. .135 first pitch, and all fans 14 and under will get the Fonte's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Backpack Cooler. It's a good giveaway. Get your tickets still by going to Phillies.com. Tomorrow it's Aaron Nola on the mound against John Lester. Really good pitching matchup.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Here's Victor Caratini, who will lead it off, catching tonight for Wilson Contreras. As we begin the second, and a first pitch fastball 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs finished the month of August with 18 wins, 10 losses. The Phillies finished 1 game under 500 with their victory last night. Joe Madden, they're trying to keep the Cardinals at bay. They're 3.5 games up over St. Louis. St. Louis is playing Cincinnati tonight. There's a strike, 2-2. There's the central standings. Milwaukee's also 4 games out, so that's your wild card. And if the season ended today, Diamondbacks would play the Braves. The Cubs would play the winner of St. Louis and Milwaukee in the first round. That's not a bad first round matchup.
That leaves us with basically having to win our division, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
to get in the postseason, unless the teams you were talking about right there play very bad down the stretch.
There's ball 4. Yeah. Yeah, the Phillies are 2 games out in the division as play begins tonight, and 3 games out in the wild card. Well, speaking of that, the month of September is so important for the Phillies. And Murph, I know you sat down with Gabe a little bit and chatted about what he thinks the needs are for his team. And we've talked about it too up here. We're going to get to that as well, moving into the month of September.
Yeah, with the month of September upon us, and with, as you just mentioned, the Phillies 2 games out, we thought we'd do a little bit of an exercise, and we included the manager, Gabe Kapler, in that. I asked him, as they're able to get the bunt down, no play at second, over to first. I asked Gabe before the game, I said, if you could pick one thing, just one thing that you'd like to see happen in September that you believe will help you make that run for the postseason, what would it be? And he said that was easy. He had an answer right away. He said, look, with all the new faces that are now up with the expanded rosters, he said, for me, the most important thing is that we gel together quickly, come together as a cohesive unit, and, you know, kind of all become one in that clubhouse, much like they have been for most of the season. You know, it's a very tight-knit group in that clubhouse, and now with a couple of new faces, new personalities, he just wants to see that very quickly kind of melt together and continue what they have been doing all season long. So that's what Gabe Kapler wants to see, but I know you guys also kind of put your bullet points together. So I don't know, Tommy, we should start with you. What was your idea for September?
Well, let's start with Ben, because Ben, I know you talked about the pitching rotation and how important it is for guys to step up beyond Aaron Nola.
Yeah, I said other than guys named Aaron Nola, I think that the other 4 guys need to step it up a little bit. We know how good they were in April, May, and June. They need to get back to that. Aaron continues to be Aaron Nola.
And I will say that Rick Kranitz agreed with what you were saying today, Ben, too. And in a lot of ways, with what you had said today. And Michael, I know we just touched on it a little bit, what you think needs to happen in September.
I think, I mean, I'm again an old school guy, and I think a consistent lineup where players know they're playing and know what slot they're hitting in the batting order is very important. I mean, I can say it was to me. It was an honor to hit third, an honor to hit fourth, and I knew my role. And if you're the leadoff hitter, your role is to get on base. If you're a 2-hole hitter, you take a lot of pitches and move runners and try to get on base yourself. And then the 3-hole, 4-hole hitters have a little more freedom. And the 5 hitters kind of protection for the, you know, I'm going on and on, but what I mean is every guy in the lineup has a job to do. And it's not that you're a leadoff hitter one night and a 6-hole hitter the next night and a 3-hole hitter the next night and an 8-hole, you know what I mean? You don't get to settle into a role on the team, and I would like to see more lineup consistency.
Well, and I wonder, because I don't know, Mike, if that's going to happen, because I think Gabe feels like flexibility is key.
And again, I don't know that I'm right. It's just the way I feel. Yeah. It's the way I played it's the way we played back in the day.
Well, mine was just tightening up the D, which I think we talked about that a little bit. We have talked about it the last couple of days. And I will say this, watching the last few days, it's certainly on their mind as Hatt goes down looking for the second out, because, man, I will say that they are working so hard with all these different drills that they're doing before BP, and some of them I think are really impressive. You know, Rob Thompson sitting at home plate, they front toss to Rob Thompson, and he hits ground balls as if he's a hitter to third base, to shortstop. And then today, Jose Flores was about 5 feet away from the third baseman hitting ground balls. Rob Thompson was halfway down the first base line hitting ground balls. Dusty Wathan was up a few steps hitting ground balls to the middle of the diamond. Maikel Franco was able to field that one.
Hold that thought till we get back.
Yeah. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. We have played 1.5 here in South Philly. We're on to the bottom of the second. The Cubs up 2-0. like that. His teammates were clapping for him. Obviously, the Phillies fans clapping for him, and the Cubs fans, and there are a lot of those as well. Cole had such a magical run with the Philadelphia Phillies. Homegrown from the time he was selected in the first round out of San Diego, California. And Mike, as you were saying, one of the classic windups. You don't really see that kind of classic windup from everybody anymore.
I had Cole on my team in 2004 in Florida State League, and he was like a god in the minor league. And Cole Hamels is all anybody could talk about that in that spring training at minor league camp. And he pitched for me. The first time he pitched for me, he was only allowed to throw 25 pitches. He was coming off an arm, elbow issue, and everybody in the Phillies organization were there. We playing the Dodgers A team, and he got through their whole lineup with 25 pitches. That's how good he was.
There's a fly ball to center field. And Happ will run it down. Thursday, it's football night in Philadelphia. Starting at 3, kick off the Eagles season at Xfinity Live. There will be loads of freebies, live broadcasts, and giveaways just for our authentic fans, including a chance to win a commemorative Super Bowl 52 football and a chance to tour the NBC Sports Sunday Night Football Bus. Yeah, the regular season college football started this week. Regular season for the NFL starts next week.
Hard to believe.
And Nick Foles will be the starter for the Eagles. I don't know if that's a huge surprise to everybody. As Cabrera takes a strike. Cabrera, 219 with the Phils, 3 homers, including last night's walk-off. And he pops that one foul.
If we can go back to that discussion we were having before the break, you were talking about all the hard defensive work that the Phillies are putting in.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that we're putting all that extra early afternoon hard defensive work in, and Joe Madden's telling his team not to come to the park?
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, because they're on this long road trip. Yeah.
Well, I thought he told him that before.
He may have. He may have. Yeah, I'm always for looking at drills, and I've been really impressed with the drills that the Phillies have been doing the last few days. I really have.
Well, if they needed somebody to roll roll over some ground balls in the infield, they should ask me to do that. I made a career of it.
There's a changeup, and Cabrera swings over top.
Well, they do that because the ball reacts differently when it's hit from a bat at home plate off a pitch ball than when it's fungoed with a fungo bat.
And I like that drill because when you hit it with a regular fungo, you put backspin on it, and it stays close to the ground. The balls, most of the ground balls that are hit to infielders have topspin on them because you're smothering the ball.
And Rob Thompson he was chopping it. He was hitting line drive 1 hoppers. I mean, it looked like he was doing it all on purpose, and it was a really good drill.
But I don't know. My opinion is that we are old enough to be good defensive players. I mean, it's not like Scott Kingery's a young player, of course. Franco grounds the ball to Bryant at third, inning over. But I truly believe our guys are old enough and experienced enough to be good defensive players.
Yeah.
Without drills. I think it's concentration.
Well, hopefully they keep on working on that as we move through the month of September. We'll head to the 3rd. It's 2-0 Cubs on top. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, the question is, who was the Cubs starting pitcher when Cole Hamels threw his no-hitter for the Phillies in 2015?
Wow.
Answer will be revealed a little later on, or maybe it has already been revealed.
I think you may have revealed that last night.
I may have. Here's Baez. He scored a run in the first inning. Swings the first pitch, and it's 0-1.
I'll tell you what, these Cubs aren't worried about seeing pitches.
No. Now they're going right after it. Well, this guy definitely is going right after it. Oh, breaks his bat. Well, last night he provided the Cubs with an early lead in the rain.
That was a hanger.
I'll tell you what, Ben, I think he had everything into that pitch.
Sure did. It's your home run replay brought to you by Giant. Ball went 417. It went 110.4 miles per hour off the bat.
And it was a slider, kind of like middle away.
Scorched.
All right, so Anthony Rizzo, who grounded out with a runner at third his first time up. And a breaking ball, 0-1. See, that's what you're talking about before, Mike, how he's down on the bottom of the bat. And now he'll go up, choke up a little bit. The other thing he does, and I think it helps him even in this spot, he stands so close to the plate. I mean, he erases.
He wants the ball in.
Yeah. So he can pop himself open. But he covers so much of the plate, too. Well, he got it in.
See how quick he is inside?
Yeah.
It's kind of a Joey Votto approach to two-strike hitting. But there you can see how quick he is getting that head of that bat to that ball. And that ball is a little up and on the inside corner.
The other thing is he's just fearless in there. He's already been hit 115 times in his career. One year he got hit 30 times. Another year he got hit 24 times.
And he doesn't wear a pad on his elbow.
Nope.
Change up, hit back toward the middle and into center field.
I think Zach wanted to go for that, but he figured there's got to be someone back there to field it.
You might be right about that.
Two-strike.
He went to go get it. I mean, Zach's 6'6", 6'7", pushing 6'7".
Yeah.
It's almost like he didn't want to deflect it, so an infielder couldn't make a clean play on it. Take a look here.
See, that's just a little poke downswing at that ball. Ends up a ground ball up the middle for a hit. Try to pull it, it's an out. Swing too hard, it's an out.
Rizzo does have 6 stolen bases. Been caught 4 times. Fly ball right field. Nick Williams has some room in front of the warning track. And there are 2 outs. Well, tomorrow we mentioned Aaron Nola is going to be pitching, and we're bringing a little slice of home to Citizens Bank Park for Nola. Join us at Nola's new cheering section, the French Quarter, for his next scheduled start against the Cubs. Your game ticket includes an exclusive Nola t-shirt and Mardi Gras beads. Purchase your tickets now at Phillies.com/French Quarter to join the fun. Sections 108 and 109. It's pulled fair down the third base line. It hits the half wall, and it's a long run in for Reese. They're going to hold the runners at second and third. 22nd double of the year for Bryant. Brian Butterfield is the third base coach.
Well, Ben, I might have sent him with 2 outs. Reese has to make a long throw to home plate.
Yeah, I think if that ball doesn't hit that half wall, I think Rizzo would have ended up scoring on that play.
There we see it right here.
Just enough of the wall.
Kicks back towards home plate. Look how far Reese has to go. Well, tell you what, Rizzo was rounding third when Reese got to that ball. There would have been a play at the plate, but it would have taken a good throw. Usually the rule of thumb is with two outs like that, you send them.
Tapper foul, and it's 1-1. A changeup from Eflin. Drastic overshift on.
If you ever needed a strikeout in a ball game, this would be the time.
Out to left center field. Odubel's going back toward the wall. He jumps and it's over his head and off the top of the wall. 2 runs will score. Schwarber's on his way to third. The throw by Williams offline. It's a stand-up triple. 4-0 Chicago.
Well, first thing I'd say, you see Chris Bryant making a mark on this game. Didn't take long. Schwarber with his head down right there. The ball that would have been in Wrigley Field. At the top of the wall, Nick Williams backed it up pretty well. Might have been a close play at third. All happened with 2 outs.
Yep. Second triple of the season for Schwarber. End of his career. And now Caratini, who walked.
I have no idea why they're pitching to him here, even giving him an opportunity. With the pitcher Hendricks on deck.
1-1. That's a good point.
He is hitting .252. Last thing you can afford here is another run.
Especially with a pitcher on deck.
Slider for a strike, and it's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Well, he went after him and picked up his 4th strikeout. 2-run score on the 2-run triple by Schwarber. Second of the year for him. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. It's a nice night here at Citizens Bank Park. Mitch, there's a lot of Cubs fans. There are a lot of Cubs fans here tonight, as the Phillies are now in a 4-run hole. Look at those little gal and little guy. As Eflin takes a strike, it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. He threw a big changeup. It almost looked like a curveball. Down the right field line, that'll go foul. The ball had a little extra on it when it hit the seat like that.
Hendricks is a throwback kind of guy, you know. I mean, he had a lot of pitchers just like him back when we played.
Wow, strike 3 called.
He's a different kind of dude.
Phillies hit the road tomorrow after the game against the Cubs, and then they return home. They'll take on the Nationals again, a 3-game series. All 3 games are at 7:05. It begins on the 10th of September. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Nationals are in Milwaukee. That game's in the 4th inning. It's scoreless now. Nationals are still in the same place today as they were yesterday. Pittsburgh and Atlanta are scoreless. That game's in the 3rd. Cesar Hernandez bats 9th tonight. Little tapper right side. And Murphy just throws him out. 4-3.
Cesar may be the first hitter in baseball history that hit 3rd one game and 9th the next game.
You could be right about that. Mike, you mentioned that Hendricks is kind of a throwback. It sounds like he went through the early part of his life with an objective. You know, he could have gone to some big schools. He's from California. He could have gone to some big schools, Division I schools out west, and he decided to come east to Dartmouth and go to Dartmouth.
Maybe he wanted to be something besides a
baseball. That was it. He wanted to have something else besides baseball. And he was confident enough that if he pitched well, he would get drafted. And he was drafted in the 8th round by Texas in 2011. Carlos looking to do what you talked about before, Mike. It's 0-2.
You got to admire that. That thinking. I'm talking about Hendricks coming back east to Dartmouth. It's worked out well for him.
Sure has.
I become a lawyer when he retires from baseball.
And what's pulled down the right field line. That is a fair ball going to the corner for Santana. And it kicks away from Zobrist. Carlos puts the brakes on at second base. And he's now in scoring position for Hoskins. 24th double of the year for Carlos.
Ball was scorched.
Yeah, it was.
A nice job of staying through it. If he gets out there, the extension is how he keeps this ball fair. He doesn't swing around the baseball, he swings through it. whereas not to hook it, foul. This ball just cuts it inside the line there.
And now Reese, who walked his first time up. Reese's walk was his 75th. And he becomes the third Philly with at least 75 walks this year. Carlos Santana and Cesar are the other two. Last time the Phillies had 3 guys with 75 walks or more was 09. That was Ryan, Chase Utley, and Jason Worth. Fouls it back toward the sweet level. It's 0-2.
That first pitch fastball, the one you're talking about in the open, Michael?
Sure was.
Now, do you think that's a case, Michael, of not being ready to hit or just looking for something else?
Let it be known I'm shaking my head. You don't always have an answer. Oh, I would not be the one to say anything negative about Rhys Hoskins because he's a great young hitter. I just don't think he likes to, I don't call it move the bat early in that bat. I just don't think he likes it. Maybe that's the way he's been his whole career. It's one of the reasons why you see so many pitches.
Right.
He does take a lot of good pitches to hit.
But there's 2 outs and a man on second base.
2-2.
And I think if there is a time to be aggressive, it would be an RBI opportunity.
It's hard to say. I mean, when I watch Rhys hit a lot of times in a situation like this, I think he's in home run mode. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And by home run mode, God knows why I was shaking my head. He could hit a line drive single up the middle or a ground ball up the middle after I say this, but I think he's looking more for something middle in that he can hit in the air to left field. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, that first pitch fastball would have been a pitch to do it on.
And it's, I just kind of think he's programmed that way, and it works, man. It works.
Oh,
We've cheered for.
That went softly out to second base. Murphy's up with it. Phillies get their first hit of the night, a double by Santana. He's left in scoring position. We've completed our first 3 innings. We move to the top of the 4th. 4-0 Cubs.
To call a celebration of courage. There's a lot of yellow in the ballpark tonight. About 24 kids are here that have been battling cancer or are continuing to battle cancer. Some are survivors of cancer, and they're getting a chance to do all kinds of different things. This right here you're seeing is the lineup of courage. 9 kids who are battling right now different kinds of childhood cancers out there, meeting some of the players before the game. Some of them are throwing out first pitches and changing bases. They have PA announcers as well. It's all part of what is a really special night. And as I mentioned, it's the 3rd straight year. At one point, we were lucky enough to head on down to the media room and meet some of the kids that were part of that lineup of courage. Signed some autographs, took some pictures with them. And, you know, you get the chance to see them and talk to them and hear about what they're doing. And each one of them with a huge smile on their face and really enjoying the night. They got a chance to meet the skipper as well. And I would imagine one of the highlights, the big guy coming up to the suite where they're all enjoying the baseball game. He just went to visit them a couple minutes ago. So it's an important reminder of the childhood cancers that kids are battling each and every day in and around the Delaware Valley and all over the world. And Major League Baseball and the Phillies doing such a great job to do their part to put a smile on the face and raise some money as well.
I think that's a good point. The smile on their face. That's what we got a chance to see earlier today. Moments ago, some of the youngsters getting a chance to change first and third base. It's part of the grounds crew. We spent some time downstairs with some of the youngsters, as you saw, and one thing that you can talk about is that they all had a smile on their face. I mean, this is a nice night for them, for their families.
All their parents were their kids' ages when I played.
Very true.
You're trying to explain to their kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of neat to see their reactions when, let's say, Michael, you walked in, or Larry and Ben walked in. There's a line drive caught by Cabrera off the bat of Kyle Hendricks. We showed you the wristbands the umpires are wearing. The players have the pins on over their logo. You can see it with Asdrubal and the wristband he's wearing. That's to build awareness and help raise money for childhood cancer research. Folks at Nemours have done an unbelievable job.
That's a special place.
There's the T-shirts the players were wearing during BP. We have 2 in our office, and the grounds crew's wearing them. As Cesar takes care of Ian Happ. There are 2 outs. Well, hopefully tonight gives them a little respite, a little relaxation for not only the kids but also the parents here at tonight's ball game. They were all so appreciative. Here's Daniel Murphy, who doubled and scored in the 1st inning and then grounded out to 3rd his last time up. Zach looks for an easy inning.
And you watch the kids and the parents come out, just the amount of courage that they demonstrate.
Oh yeah,
it is truly remarkable.
2-1. We met obviously a lot of the kids. We met Lucy and her parents, Kira, Frankie, little Frankie,
Lexi.
I know we're missing some of them, but
one of the families had 2 children with cancer.
Out toward left center field, not deep, coming on his Reese. He'll leave his feet and make the catch, and the inning is over. And Zach Eflin with a 9-pitch 4th inning. His defense helping a little bit behind him. It's his first 1-2-3 inning of the night, and he needed it. Reese Hoskins leaving his feet, making the play, taking us to the bottom of the 4th. program deliver quality furniture at a great price. From workstations, desks, and tables to seating and storage, outfit just one station or your entire office. Who but WB Mason? Last of the fourth inning, Phillies have just the one hit. And Odubel, who got a boatload of changeups his last time up, his first time up tonight. We'll lead it off. Shows bunt. He went after it, and it's 0-1. He just asked if it was a strike or not.
Back when I played, it was like a no-no to ask the umpire if the pitch was a strike.
Oh, really?
Don't be asking the umpire if the pitch is a strike, because it just tells them that you don't know the strike zone.
Upstairs, 2-1.
I would be amazed how many hitters would ask the umpire when I was back there catching. That strike? You have that on the plate?
The guy calls it a strike, and then he says, "Is that a strike?"
How about when the guy swings?
But I called it a strike.
How about when the guy swings? He goes, "That good pitch?" Well, you thought it was. You swung at it.
They just need a little positive reinforcement.
I bet you have some good stories about some chatter at that plate.
There's a floater out to right center field. That's a base hit. That is the second hit for the Phils, so Odubel's aboard here in the fourth.
Nice hit right there. Tough a time as Odubel has with that off-speed stuff. He kind of waited on that one, and that great Odubel stroke shot it out to center field. Boom. Rally time, Ben.
Let's do it.
It Phil's down just 4-0. One ball and one strike to Ramos. Ramos grounded out to third his first time up. What a two. That's a tough pitch, I think. That's a pitcher's pitch.
Yeah, that's a double play if you swing at it, unless you're going to hit it to right field.
Which he can do, but oof, that's a good pitch.
This should be a good matchup for Ramos with his right center, right field stroke. Good idea. Spoil that pitch.
Ball went off the hands of the gentleman in the first row. The gentleman in the second row was able to corral it. Out toward left center field. Schwarber got a late jump. It's going to drop. Now the Phils have runners on first and second with nobody out. Nick Williams due up.
Right no man's land, Ben.
Thing of beauty.
Team's been doing that to us a little bit. Good little payback.
One good swing here could get the Phils right back in this one. Nick got out in front his first time up. Still drove it pretty good to center field, deep center field. He stay back just a hair longer.
Nick's another hitter that should match up well with Hendricks too. He's a straightaway hitter.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-0.
That's where Hendricks wants to entice you into a double play. Get you in a fastball situation, just get a little rollover. That's what he wants, and if a hitter bites on that, that's what will happen. If the hitter goes straight away or opposite field, you can hit a line drive. See, good hitting right there, laying off. That's that little rollover double play pitch he's trying to get you to bite on.
Definitely invites contact.
And a line drive, base hit up the middle. Odubel will score. It's an RBI single for Williams, and the Phils are on the board. It's a 4-1 game. Three straight singles for the Phillies.
Yes, sirree. A little old-fashioned rally right here. See, this is what we need to see more of from our Phillies going down the stretch.
Well, speaking of a rally, sometimes they come in with a long ball. T-Mobile built for baseball as Drupal Cabrera. Now this obviously energized everybody. The walk-off home run. The celebration was unbelievable. Look at Rhys Hoskins. He brought the whole bin out. And bubble gum for everybody. The players celebrated, but the grounds crew did the heavy work. They cleaned it up. That's a beautifully constructed pile of bubble gum right there.
What next?
That one's out to left center field, and Schwarber will make the catch. And one out here in the fourth. As Drupal talked about the potential for the Phils after the ball game last night, and he provided us with our Geico quote of the day. We've got a really good team. We've got a good talent. Last week we didn't play really good, but we've got talent. We've got talent, and I believe in the team, and we're going to be fine.
That wasn't a very productive out by those Drupal there. Wouldn't you think he would be looking to pull the ball in that situation?
Yeah, he got that one. It looked like off the hands almost.
I only say pull the ball because it'd be a more productive out. Being left-handed, nobody out, then on first and second, I would think if Drupal pulled the ball, there would be more of an opportunity to be second and third and one out than he would if he just freewheeled it and hit a fly ball and didn't advance any to run it.
But you don't want to get out too far in front and roll one over and then 4-6-3.
Is that hindsight by me?
Well, maybe a little bit, but you know, one ball and no strikes.
Isn't that what we do up here?
That's right.
We try to project, but sometimes we talk about it after the fact. One to Franco. One ball, one strike. Sinker came in at 86 miles an hour.
Back out, Michael. Thank you. Good time for that line shot at the State Farm sign.
That'd be a beauty. Let it kick her out a little bit. Let Ramos score easily. Outside, 2-1. Dylan Cousins out on deck to pinch hit for Eflin. 2-2.
Wow, that's painting the outside corner right there. Wow.
The professor. He does have that ability.
Outside, 3-2. Good eye by Michael.
Problem with Hendricks, when he misses, he either misses down or off the plate.
High chopper to third. That's going to be a double play. 5-4-3. And the side is retired. But the Phils do get a run. They leave one. We'll head to the 5th inning here in Philadelphia. It's the Cubs 4, Phillies 1. By your local Chevrolet dealers and by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for fast free delivery? Nobody does it better. The Phillies trail at 4-1 as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Watch this final out here by Maikel Franco. Look at Chris Bryant. He's got a smile on his face. It's like the last out of the World Series against the Indians.
Interesting.
Like Michael Jordan had the tongue out, Chris Bryant's got the smile. As Baez takes up and in, 1-0. There's a ground ball earlier.
He's just happy to be playing again.
I guess he is.
Maybe that's just his grin, his kind of a natural ground ball face.
Yeah. There's Franco charging. Going to be a tough play. He won't have a play on Baez.
It is hard to take that big a swing and hit a ball that softly. I mean, nothing Michael could do.
Well, you love it when you're a hitter, don't you?
Sure do. He's got 2 of them tonight.
Yeah, that's right. His first one was the ball that was fielded by Cabrera, but then thrown away. Now Anthony Rizzo, who is 1 for 2. Baez does have 21 stolen bases, been caught 7 times. So the toss over just to keep him close. Fly ball to short right. And Nick Williams sprints into the spot. 1 out. And here comes Zobrist, who is 1 for 2.
Got a pretty strange approach to hitting.
He does. I mean, the warm-up swing it's like Hunter Pence's swing. I mean, it's different than Hunter, but Hunter's got it's a very obscure one.
Nine home runs, 51 RBIs, and he's all about on-base percentage.
All about it. Which is, I mean, .311 batting average, but a .390 on-base percentage. It's gone down since last night.
What if you had 8 guys in the lineup with 400 on-base percentages? Would you be a good team?
I think it depends on how they get to that number. I would think they would be, right? Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw to second base is also a strike. He tried to get away from it, sprawling away from it, but Cabrera was able to track him down. 2-6 on the putout. I believe that was a good-natured shove.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they probably play winter ball against each other. They've been on the same team or something like that.
The Phillies went out and got Wilson Ramos for his bat. I think he's done a very good job of throwing the baseball.
Boy, he just barely got his hit.
Some serious camera work right there.
Yes, sir. Fly ball to right field. And Nick Williams runs to the spot. Sidewinds in. No runs. 1 hit and nobody left. It was a 7-pitch inning, so 16 pitches the last 2 for Zach Eflin, who will lead things off. And Cole Irvin, 14-game winner in 2018. He joins the likes of Joe Roa, Dan Larson, Jim Wright, and John Montague Phillies AAA pitchers that have won 14 games or more in a season. That's since 1973. And don't forget, the Iron Pigs will be in the postseason. They'll be on the road first beginning Wednesday and Thursday, and then at home for Game 3 on Friday, September 7th at 7:05. Game 4 and 5 if necessary the next 2 nights. You can go to Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs website, which is ironpigsbaseball.com, for more information and to purchase your tickets. Clearwater, by the way, will host the North Division opener in the best of 3 at Spectrum Field on Tuesday. Games 2 and 3 will be in Daytona. Lakewood will be in the postseason as well. You know who's really turned it around too is Reading. Reading is 38-30 since they were 26-40. That was their low water mark of the season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Roman Quinn. Pinch hitting for Zach Eflin. I got to say, his changeup sometimes just toys with people, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's nasty.
That one's a dribbler out towards shortstop. Baez backhands, throws, and it's in time to get Roman Quinn.
Wow.
That was a really nice play on both ends. The stretch also for Anthony Rizzo.
Yes, it was. Baez. We'll see it right here. Quinn's lightning fast. Baez is running straight toward home plate.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know how many shortstops in the league make that play.
I'm with you.
I mean, that play is spectacular. For his body to be going one way, he's going towards the third base bag to throw back across his body. That's a remarkable play. What arm strength he possesses.
But now Cesar is grounded out tonight. He's 0 for 1. Change up 0-2. Phillies will choose between Avilan and Arano to pitch the 6th.
I can't imagine picking that changeup up, Ben. It's 89, 88, and then 79, 78. And they both look like the exact same pitch.
Yep. He repeats his mechanics so well. Arm speed is still there.
Fly ball short left. Schwarber. Two away. And Carlos Santana is due up. Santana got a 2-out double his last time up. Another curve, back-to-back curves for strikes, 0-2. Well, you wonder why he doesn't throw that pitch more. That's a pretty good pitch.
I'm with you.
Try to throw it again right now, but put it in the dirt, down and in.
That's exactly what he did.
Four in a row.
Never see that.
thing about Carlos, he's got a big swing, but he keeps his hands back.
He does.
You don't see many check swings.
That one's out to right center field, and it will drop for a hit. Second hit of the night for Santana.
We got ourselves a new leadoff man.
Well, you know, it is amazing when you go over his numbers for his career. I mean, he led off Game 7 of the World Series for the Indians against the Cubs a couple of years ago. But we mentioned those numbers. He has over 500 plate appearances as a leadoff hitter in his career. Terry Francona used to lead him off all the time.
Well, you got with the highest on base percentage, might as well lead off. Especially if you're talking about 1-2, you know, your 1-2 hitters being the guys you want to get the most at bats.
Yeah. Reese is 0 for 1. Ball, no strikes. StatCast AI powered by AWS. This will tell us how far Rhys Hoskins traveled on this diving grab. And that retired Daniel Murphy in the 4th inning.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah. Pitcher's pitch.
And you want to talk about old school baseball, new school baseball, whatever, however you want to call it. You know, there's got to be a fast guy at the top of the lineup, right? Well, the Phillies don't steal a lot of bases, period. So if you want a guy that just gets on base, Carlos would be your guy.
Yeah, I mean, Roman, if he's in there,
yeah,
would be your guy. But you're right. And he gives a totally different dimension.
Right.
But Roman is probably not going to play every night, even as well as he has been playing. Bouncer over to third. Ryan has it.
With a smile on his face.
Yeah, we'll go over to first. 5-3 on the put out. No runs. 1 hit. And 1 man bunt. We played 5. The Phillies trail it by 3 as we go to the 6th. Putting together a very solid second half of the campaign and has posted his 3rd straight 20-plus home run season. Since the 2nd week of July, Maikel Franco has provided plenty of production for the Phillies lineup, batting over 300 with runners in scoring position. Consistency at the plate and clutch hits will be the offense the Phils need in their push for the postseason. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, the Fanatic got some help tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Philly Fanatic.
One of the youngsters who's battling cancer, who's part of tonight's Childhood Cancer Awareness Night here at the ballpark. Look at his eyes as the shirt goes flying. There's another young lady helping. Yeah, go up there. She knows exactly where it should go. That's outstanding. Nice job, guys. Here's Chris Bryant to face Luis Avilan. Avilan, who was acquired from the White Sox by the Phils. This is his 4th game. He hasn't pitched a whole lot. It's been more situational He's walked a couple guys without getting it out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Despite the bad news here, the Phillies are getting good news down in Atlanta and in Washington. Both the Nationals and the Braves are trailing 2-0 in their respective games. 2-1. 2-2 and a changeup.
It's amazing nowadays pitchers use breaking balls, off-speed stuff when they're behind in the count. All of them. It's just not like when I played. I'm saying that makes it harder to hit.
Yeah. Absolutely makes it harder to hit. Swing and a miss. 1 out here in the 6th. I would think that most guys would say, I mean, and believe me, you had some really tough pitchers that knew how to control the strike zone.
There's a pitch, kind of a fork ball or a splitter or something, a little break on it. Chris Bryant with 2 strikeouts and a little double that hurt us quite a bit over the third base bag. But go ahead.
I would say that most guys would probably say they'd want to try to hit back in your ear because there wasn't a lot of movement on the pitches, but there were some tough guys that you had to deal with.
You don't have to sweeten it by saying there were some tough guys I had to deal with.
There were some tough guys.
Yes, there were. It was a lot different back then. You don't go as back as far as me, Ben, but sinker, slider, fastball, curveball. There was a couple of fastball, curveball. Don Sutton comes to mind as a 4-pitch pitcher. Not many of them. Not many. With the great Steve Carlton, fastball, slider, 2-pitch pitcher. Nolan Ryan, 2 pitches, fastball, curveball, and then he added that whatever that was he threw toward the end of his career.
Whatever that was.
Change up. How many times have I said this year, though, Tom? I've seen more 3-2 sliders or curveballs this year than I have ever.
What if guys from both of your eras sit there and say, man, I wish I would have thrown that more in 3-2?
Well, I think now we're seeing it more so out of the starters because of what's expected out of them. They're only expected to go 6 innings nowadays. So if they walk someone 3-2, so be it. We'll get the next guy. I don't care if my pitch count gets up. I'm not going to get beat up on a 3-2 cookie.
I'll be long.
I saw that.
How about that?
Glad that ball didn't bounce.
He fields it and just flips it like Cliff Lee used to.
Actually, the mentality is very much the same. The pitchers and the hitters. It's kind of an all or nothing. Whoop, boom. And you can miss that ball thrown it that soft. But pitchers want to strike hitters out. Hitters want to hit home runs.
That's it.
Caratini is 0 for 1. Outside, 1-0.
I will say, though, I think the reason for that is back when when Michael played, I think there was more an emphasis on fastball command. Now your guys are getting to the big leagues because they throw 95 to 100. They can't locate it sometimes, but they're here.
There's no doubt truth to that. No doubt.
I've had talks with Cranny about this till we're both blue in the face.
That one's out towards center field. Long run for Odubel, and he gets there. He actually went past it and reels it in. Nice play. And a 1-2-3 6th inning for Avilan. Middle of the 6th, the Phillies down 4-1. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. There's a lot going on in Ashburn Alley today. Why not? It's a great place to be. Nice crowd on hand tonight to watch the Cubs and the Phils. Phillies trail it by 3 because that guy has kept them off balance, although the Phillies have had base runners over the last several innings. But he's managed the innings. He hasn't allowed them to get a big inning. Odubel will lead it off. Odubel led off the 4th with a single. Curveball.
Well, he's fallen in love with that baby.
He is. Change up outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A heater.
Is that like this only the second one in the last 2 innings?
That was his hardest velocity at 89.
Yeah, it was.
Now you really got the hitter thinking.
Curveball hit right back to the mound. Thursday, if you can't make it to Xfinity Live for football night in Philadelphia, get ready for the Eagles-Falcons with us. Starting at 5, it's Phillies Sports Talk, followed by a special edition of Quick Slants. And then the best football analysts in town take you up to kickoff on Eagles pregame live. Wilson Ramos is 1 for 2.
Curious about Wilson Ramos. Is he only signed through this year?
He is, yes. He will be a free agent at the end of the season. And if he's healthy, Mike, I mean, if you take a look at the landscape of catchers, there's not much out there. And if he is healthy, he's going to command a multi-year deal.
Yeah. No question.
Signed for, it's $12 million this year, but I would think that he'll get north of that. You know,
well, I wonder where that leaves Jorge Alfaro.
There's no doubt the Phillies still feel like Jorge's an everyday catcher.
Tremendous young talent.
Movement on that 3-0 pitch. When I said last inning about Mike Kelly after he grounded that ball over to third base for the inning-ending double play, when Hendricks, he's not a guy that can miss big. He needs to miss small.
Swing and a miss.
See what right there? If he misses, he misses down or off the plate. He doesn't miss up out over the plate.
So that's missing small.
That's missing small because with the velocity that he has, or lack thereof, if it's going to be up, elevated out over the plate, he's going to get hit. He will.
Outside ball 4. Ramos walks.
See there, he missed, but he missed off the plate. He's just not going to give in. It can be a very, very frustrating at bat.
That's a good eye right there.
Now Nick Williams, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI, the only RBI for the Phils. Edelbry Ramos is warming up, getting some instructions from Jim Gott. Big curveball.
Jim Gott might be the most humble man in the world. We walked out to our trucks last night. I said, man, you really got those boys going out of that bullpen tonight, huh? And he said, I just answer the phone. It's great. He really is.
That one's pulled to the right side, a base hit. Ramos will stop at second. And now first and second with one out for Cabrera.
There he is.
The beauty of being a left-handed hitter.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Croc's home listening. He knows I was going to say that. Or should I say watching? Hi, John.
That's why Mike Schmidt always wanted to be George Brett. Well, a meeting out on the mound. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach for the Cubs, out to the mound. By the way, while we have a moment,
that's a good one.
got some birthday wishes to throw out there, Michael. Your former center fielder,
Gary Maddox.
Gary Maddox, celebrated birthday today.
Check your email there, Brother Maddox. I sent you a little note.
69 years old today. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Man could go get it with the best.
Secretary of Defense.
Here's Cabrera. He's 0 for 2. 0-1 a fastball.
That pitch right there. And again, I don't want to give Hendricks too much credit. But if you're going up there looking for a first pitch fastball, he got one there. But there's just not a whole lot you can do with that pitch.
That's the way you look when you read fastball. Like you said, Ben, he keeps it over the outside corner, didn't miss big on it, and you read fastball, and then you go, oh, it's a changeup.
You do that mid-swing, huh? Strike 3 call. Four strikeouts for Hendricks. Pitch cast presented by P.J. Wheelahans.
Right on the other ball. That's like watching tennis on TV, and they show you that the replay of a tennis ball just touching the outside of a line.
He's going to go have a peek.
It's a tough pitch, boy. It really is. Here's Michael, who is grounded out to third twice. Once was a double play. Phillies down 3. Well, he's gone from using his curveball a lot to using his sinker a lot in this inning.
This guy's driving us nuts with that outside corner. Wow.
No balls, 1 strike. Well, Pittsburgh and Atlanta, it's now 3-0 Pirates. Chris Archer is no-hitting the Braves. Gregory Polanco had an RBI last night, a home run tonight.
I can't remember an inside pitch to a right-hander this entire game.
Yeah, he's pretty much working the outside part. Maybe Reese in his first at bat. That's the last one I can remember. That was it.
Might be time for maybe the hitters to move up on the plate. How about that? Get right next to the plate.
A little tapper over the mounds. Murphy's got it and just steps on the second base bag. And the inning is over. Fielder's choice off the bat of Maikel Franco. 6 in the books. Phillies leave 2 more. We'll go to the 7th, down 3. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary as we go to the top of the 7th inning. The Cubs jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first. 2 runs against Eflin, 1 earned, 1 unearned, and then 2 more in the third on a 2-run triple by Kyle Schwarber. And now as we go to the 7th inning, after the Phils got a run on the Nick Williams single, Avilan will face a pinch hitter. Ben, I think she's trying to show you how to do the floss.
What's that called?
That's the floss.
The boss?
Floss.
Oh, the floss.
Yeah, Ben can do it, Mike.
Wasn't that, oh, I can't think of the guy's name. He used to do it on the Celebrity Golf Tour when he made putts.
I know. Oh, Chichi Rodriguez?
No. The young man that does the commercials for the Champions Tour.
I don't know. Ramos is coming on because Almora was announced as a pinch hitter. We'll be back right after this. I don't remember who it is. Sale dates. For more information, go to Phillies.com/season deposits or call 215-463-5000. Joe Maddon's going to take out Hendricks. He announced Almora as the pinch hitter. So Almora will stay in with Ramos out on the hill. I don't know how good the Cubs bullpen's going to be tonight, but part of me keeps thinking good riddance.
I'm with you. Get him out of there.
Ramos was on the DL with a blister. It wasn't a bad blister, but they were just trying to manage it. 2 balls and no strikes to Almora, who might stay in to play a little defense. Good pitch, 2-2. That was a nice, easy slider from Ramos. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Filthy. That's what they call it.
Sure was.
Filthy breaking ball.
All right, guys. Time now for the Ram Truck Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. The question is, who was the Cubs starting pitcher when Cole Hamels threw his no-hitter for the Phils in 2015? Ben.
Well, that was a wonderful ball game, and Cole that day was opposed by Phillies' own Jake Arrieta.
That is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
Got the ding. Good job.
I saw, let's see, take a look at Jake. I saw Sang tonight up eating supper, and I said, whatever the question is, I'm saying Ernie Banks. And he kind of had a chuckle, and he said, tonight is as simple one as could be. He said, it's so easy. I said, all right.
Two balls and one strike. Two and two. Three and two to Happ. Daniel Murphy's on deck. Fly ball right field. That is well hit, and it is gone. Ian Happ with his 14th home run of the year. It's now a 5-1 game. He went down and got that one, didn't he?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you how he gets to 143 strikeouts and then boom, home run. Like a lot of grip on that, a lot of fingers on that ball. Might have been some kind of a changeup.
Wow, he reached out for it too.
Yeah.
All right, now Murphy is 1 for 3. It's 0-1.
Big run right there.
Yes, sir. With only 9 outs left for the Phils, the fact that the Cubs were able to add on is a big deal.
So this guy will spoil you to death, Murphy. You got to like him as a hitter. I mean, that's why I do. He talks a lot of junk when he's up at home plate, but I tell you, he'll stand there and spoil pitches all day long.
0-2 pitch coming.
What a postseason he had a couple years ago, right?
Well, that's what the Cubs are kind of banking on that again, if they get there, and they're in pretty good shape right now.
Talking to himself, right? What's he saying to himself, Ben?
Stay back. See the pitch.
Swing and a miss. He did none of that there.
No, he did not.
2 outs. And here comes Baez. 2 strikeouts for Ramos. Phillies have Austin Davis warming up in the bullpen.
He would be for the man on deck. Good spot.
This is one of these pitches that we're talking about right here now, right? 2-0 fastball situation, home run hitter. This was automatic fastball when I played.
They got it, but it was outside. I'm with you, though. I thought he was going to throw a slider.
Yeah, but in a tie ball game, if you were up, you wouldn't get one, would you?
No, you're right. You're right. The possibility not, but up 4 runs, or excuse me, down 4 runs. Nobody on base.
Out to center field, playable for Herrera, and the inning is over. Cubs, though, do get an extra run. They get one on a home run by Ian Happ. We'll stretch here at Citizens Bank Park with the Cubs up 5-1. Well, that is Arietta Baricelli singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" just a few moments ago. Beautifully done. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's time now for our Coors Light refreshing finish. And, well, Kyle Hendricks tonight, 17 of the 25 hitters he faced with first pitch strikes. 11 ground ball outs in tonight's game.
He was absolutely masterful. The fastball command was really set up that really good changeup, but his fastball command, he was able to dot it in, out, up, down, wherever he wanted, and then he came back with a changeup, and then he started mixing some breaking balls. His curveball was really good, but his fastball command was really top-notch. 6-inning pitch, 4 strikeouts, allowed just 6 hits and 1 run.
Well, now the veteran Jesse Chavez will take over out on the mound. This is his 19th game. And he's facing Pedro Florimon to lead things off. Almora, as we mentioned, stays in the game to play center field. Happ moves from center to right. Zobrist moves from right field to second base as Florimon slices it to Schwarber. And 1 out here in the 7th inning. There is Ben Zobrist taking over for Daniel Murphy.
When was the last time a right fielder came in to play second base?
Oh, by the way, we got an answer for your batting third, hitting third, and then 9th. Carl Graver dug it all up. It happened one other time this year. David Bodie for the Cubs hit third in one game, and the next day he hit 9th.
So it is an unusual thing.
It is unusual. We're working on the time before that, though.
I thought you said it was the only one in history.
No, only one this year.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, this year. We're doing our data research on the other part of it. Cesar bounces a foul. Cesar pulls it foul again. That was strike 3 call. Phillies Fantasy Camp is open for business next January 23rd through the 27th. 5 days and 4 nights. You get 3 different experiences. Join guys like Greg Luzinski, Stairsy, Charlie Manuel, Mickey Morandini, and more. For more information, call 610-520-3400 or visit PhilliesFantasyCamp.com for information. Well, this has been a tough night for the Phillies. They've scattered 6 hits over 6 2/3. Caratini got whacked on that backswing. Carlos Santana.
Don't see many pitchers pitching with sunglasses on either, do you? Oh, on the glove.
He does have an exaggerated backswing. Follow through.
Ben, what did you think of Aaron Boone's catching yesterday in the Yankee game when he got thrown out? Swing and a miss. All right, we'll let you chew on it a little bit. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils here in the 7th. That's a 10-pitch 7th inning for Jesse Chavez. We'll move on to the 8th inning in South Philly. Honda dealer. Visit DelvalHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. The Phillies trail at 5-1. Dugout dance features some of the kids as part of our childhood cancer awareness night here at the ballpark. Time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. This was a dandy.
Yeah, Roman Quinn hits a little ground ball. Paez, he decides to backhand it, running toward home plate, and throws a little sidearm flip. Beautiful play. Not many guys can do that, and that's your Hyundai defense play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Well, we start the 8th inning, and Austin Davis back off the DL, delivers the strike to Anthony Rizzo. Numbers for Austin. This is his 23rd game. Oh, 2. Andy, thanks for picking that up for Charlie. Andy Rabel picked that up after it hit our buddy Charlie down there. Softened off the net. Over to left side. Franco on the glove side. 1 out. Zobrist is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Time for the Major League Notebook presented by University of Maryland, University College. The New York Yankees lineup looking a little bit different today. In addition to 4 call-ups that the Yankees had, they also welcomed Andrew McCutchen and Gary Sanchez back to the lineup. Of course, McCutchen traded from San Francisco yesterday. He led off for the Yankees in their game against Detroit. Sanchez back behind the plate as well. He had been dealing with for the last month or month and a half, really, with that groin injury, but he is back in the starting lineup and feels good. They won that game 2-1 today. The news not as good for the Boston Red Sox. Their starting rotation dealing with some injuries. Both Chris Sale and David Price dealing with injuries. Sale, of course, is on the DL with that shoulder inflammation. He did throw a bullpen. They say he's feeling better. No timetable for his return. David Price took a line drive back off the wrist the other day, and he is also throwing, but they don't expect him to make his next start. Maybe by next weekend, he will be back in the starting rotation. The good news for the Red Sox, they have 7 games on the Yankees right now. Yankees still missing a handful of superstars out of their lineup.
It's a slow chopper up the third base line, and great decision out of necessity for Maikel Franco.
That is one smart play there by Maikel.
That had a lot of spin on it, thankfully.
Well, you're not going to get the guy at first base anyway.
No.
You can see right there the ball dug in the grass a little bit and spinning toward the third base line. Yeah, what do you got to lose by letting it go?
Very true. One and 2 to Zobrist. Chris Bryant on deck. A little quick pitch.
Has similar stances, both left and right. Zobrist. That's unusual. Because they're weird.
It is amazing sometimes how certain guys make certain stances work for them. You know? Some of them you'd sit there and say, well, there's no way he can hit, but it's his comfort level to start.
I would say most hitters, major league hitters, got these stances. It's somewhere by copying somebody.
Swing and a miss and a high fastball. 2 outs. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 miles per hour or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. That one's out to right center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Bryant 2 for 4 in his return.
He has been very aggressive tonight. First pitch swinging.
Time for our Toyota turning point.
And Zach challenged him here with a fastball. His ball goes off the left center field fence. Put back up there by Nick Williams, but Schwarber into third base for that 2-run triple. As your Toyota turning point. Made 4-0 at the time.
Austin Davis has had this card in his back pocket all year. It's kind of a scouting report. And Joe West just told him to give him his card. I mean, he's had it literally the whole year. I don't know why, for some reason now, Joe West is telling him he can't use it.
Well, good. I've been longing for a little beef with between umpire and manager.
I don't get it, though. I mean, the outfielders use it. Why can't the
catchers use it?
Yeah, why can't the pitchers use it?
You open the card and you look on there and you say, okay, Zobrist, want to pitch him away.
Yeah, but he's been using it all year. Ever since he's been brought up, he's had the card in his back pocket.
Gabe just said that's not in the rule book. So maybe Joe's saying it's some type of rule.
I can't. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine it's in the rule book, because I don't think anybody would have thought of that before.
I got one for you. What if it had a Bible verse on it or something?
Well, what if? Yeah. What if it had some? What if it had an inspirational message like it's in your hat?
Yeah, right. Well, how about he takes the card and puts it in his hat?
I mean, the catchers have it on the wrist. The players have it in their back pocket in the outfield. I can't imagine that there's. So Davis is looking at it.
It's like he got caught at school with a cheat sheet by the teacher.
Well, we'll get to see this on the happenings of the week somewhere. Joe West takes information card from pitcher.
I have to tell you, I just can't. I don't understand what the big deal is. Everybody is doing it around baseball at all these other positions. What does he think? It's sandpaper or something? In the dirt to Addison Russell, was just off the disabled list. He was on with a finger injury. Swing and a miss. Good off speed pitch to it too. I mean, in grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. He's already looked at whatever Addison Russell's tendencies are. He's putting it back in his pocket, but if the pitcher's not allowed to use it, then why would the catcher or the outfielders be allowed to use any of it? Conceptually, it just makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
Swing and a miss. He got it with a fastball without the card in his back pocket. It lightened the load. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-1, Cubs on top. experience to catch every moment this season. Get Phillies home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking and game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Chavez remains in. The Cubs have switched up their defense. Russell's at short. Baez, who was holding up his card while he was catching the throw from the catcher, is at second, which was actually kind of funny. Zobrist is over to third. Look at Baez. Look, I got my card. I got it. Hoskins down the right field line. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's getting pretty entertaining here.
Unfortunately,
not by runs being scored.
Well, that's true. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, did we have cards for guys like 2 years ago? No. But they've used them all year. Two and one to Hoskins.
Oh, that ball's out. Tough pitch. So Joe West is over there. Do you think he was kind of looking for somebody to use a card? Or do you think he saw the pitcher using a card and went, whoa, that's illegal?
Here's the thing. I mean, you can't have a foreign object. I mean, you can't. So that's the only thing I can think of is that's what he's saying. You cannot have any foreign object. And maybe that's in his category of foreign object. Hoskins flies out to left field. But there are other pitchers around baseball that have been using him.
Austin's the only one on the Phillies team that I've seen.
He's the only one on the Phillies, yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, it has to be the foreign object part of it.
So maybe there's a rule that said you got to commit that all to memory, and you're not allowed to review anything, any notes or anything.
I'm going up to get my attention. You want my attention? You got it.
Little barking going on in the dugout because of that pitch to Reese.
Remember back in the day how in a game like this, if you had a beef between somebody in the dugout and an umpire like that,
yeah,
the manager would see that as a moment for him.
To fire up his troops.
Yeah. A moment for him to come out and get in an umpire's face and get thrown out of a game, right?
Out of play, and it's 0-2.
Not that it kind of meant anything, but it just always seemed that that's the reason they did it. Watch out, he's going to get. We know he's going to get thrown out of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 0-2 to Odubel Herrera, who is 1 for 3. Swing at this. He got tied up awkwardly.
Like both his feet were off the ground when he swung.
Third strikeout for Chavez. Wednesday and Saturday, the Powerball goes off. Tuesdays and Friday, Mega Millions. Powerball's at 90 million. Mega Millions at 167. Good luck if you're going to play. On one hop out to Baez at second. It's a 9-pitch inning. Phillies go down 1-2-3. We have played 8. We go to the 9th inning, and it's 5-1 Cubs. Kicks off August 27th when the Nats are in town. It's a $15 ticket. Plus, the first John is on the Phils in Ashburn Alley. You get a $12 voucher for Chickies and Pete's Crab Fries, Bull's Barbecue, Tony Luke's, a Hatfield hot dog or Coke, or and Coke, I should say. Limited quantity are available. Go to Phillies.com/student-steel. Top of the 9th inning. And Caratini will lead it off for the Cubs. It's 0-1. Oh, man, right back at Davis. He recovers and throws high and off the glove of Santana and down the right field line.
Like it hit him in the back, or did it hit him in the glove?
I think it hit him in the chest, but the glove maybe softened it. That was a frozen rope back to the box. Oh, man.
Hit him right in the tail.
It was either right in the tail or just above the tail, Ben.
Yeah.
Like right in the ribs. Unfortunately, that's a painful error.
Like it added something to his fastball to me. It's a mad fastball.
Yeah, right off the left hip. Add insult to injury.
Man, we got every body part covered.
Yeah.
So they scored that hitting an error. Did you say the error was caused by the pain?
Yeah, well, it might have been. It's an E1 all the way. Here's Almora. To the right side. Somebody better go cover first. Santana does just in time. 4-3 on the putout.
That's good hitting right there. Advance that potential 6th run to third base with 1 out. Poke a little ground ball to the opposite side. His teammates will be throwing some knuckles around in that dugout.
Caught by Franco, 2 outs. Line drive. And the runner stays at third.
Hot corner.
We got a man there.
There's David Bodie batting for Jesse Chavez. Fly ball right center field. Williams on the run. He won't get it. He's going to go to the scoreboard. A run does score. And Bodie's on his way to second base. And he's there with a stand-up double. Yet another extra base hit for the Cubs.
Well, there's a rope to right center right there. Ball out over the plate. The only man this year to play right field, or excuse me, to hit Ninth one day and third the next day. David Bodie.
Yeah, that's a really good piece of hitting there. He's going with the pitch.
Big 2-out hit for the Cubs.
Well, it's 10 hits now for the Cubs. 6 of those hits are extra base hits. It's an unearned run. Swing and a miss, Baez. Another base hit for Baez. Bodie's around third. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate by Hoskins is not in time. Single RBI for Baez. And the runner to second on the throw. And that'll bring Anthony Rizzo up.
Davis getting a little mistreated right now. They'll leave him in to pitch to Rizzo.
Dansby Swanson is homered to make it a 3-2 game in Atlanta. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning and a runner at third for the Braves. I should say 1 out as Rizzo fouls the 0-1. Fly ball left field, playable for Hoskins. And then top of the 9th inning comes to a close, but the Cubs scored 2 more runs. They pad their lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. It's 7-1. Chicago on top of the Phils. And we go to our WB Mason deliveries of the game. As we mentioned, a lot of extra base hits for the Cubbies tonight.
Yeah, they've been good. It's Zobrist there in the first. And then Schwarber, this is the big one. Cubs already up 2-0 at the time. And Schwarber almost knocks one out of here, but it's a 2-run triple. That scores Rizzo and Bryant. And then Happ gets out in front of this and somehow muscles it in the seats in right field. And then Bodie on the changeup down and away, goes the opposite way for run scoring double. your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Well, the Phillies have one last chance here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Braves have tied up the Pirates down in Atlanta 3-3. Randy Rosario will take over for the Cubs. 33rd game for Rosario, the lefty, after Jesse Chavez threw 2 scoreless innings. That young man's trying to get on disco cam. He's trying. Ben, get up and do the floss. Maybe we'll get you on disco cam. Come on.
I'm good.
We won't record it.
You never do.
Nope.
Whatever happens in this booth apparently does not stay in this booth.
No. Whatever happens in the booth stays in the booth. There's a strike, and it's 0-1 to Williams. Pulled over to first on 1 hop. And 1 out. If the Cubs hang on and win, and they're up 7-1 with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning, they'll gain a game on the Cardinals in the division. Cardinals trail the Reds 4-0. If that score stays, that game's in the bottom of the 8th inning. Milwaukee is the team that would move closer then to St. Louis. They lead the Nationals 3-1 in the 8th inning. Braves have now taken the lead on the Pirates down in Atlanta 4-3. Things are changing all over the place. Fastball to Cabrera, and it's 0-1. Central standings are updated. Yeah, so the Brewers would move into second place if things stand here. Over to third, cut off by Bryant. Phillies haven't had a hit since the 6th inning. That was a single by Nick Williams, who earlier tonight picked up his 50th RBI.
Six hits by the Phils, and only 1 extra base hit, the double by Santana.
Broncos 0 for 3. Phillies can still win the series tomorrow with Aaron Nola on the mound against John Lester. Really nice pitching matchup on paper. Tomorrow is supposed to be Cole Hamels' day, but they added a pitcher to the rotation. The Cubs did. And Joe Maddon said he likes that. It gives Cole a chance just to enjoy his weekend back in Philadelphia, not have to worry about pitching.
Is that right?
Wasn't the reason he did it, but he was okay with it because of that.
He would have added some theater.
He would have added some theater in a big way. Coming up after the ballgame, it's Phillies postgame live. Danny Pomels, Ricky Metallico are standing by. It's presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Talk about Hendricks tonight, quieting the Phillies offense. Zach Eflin with a rough start. Dribble foul. One thing about the Chicago Cubs is that even when they were the lovable losers, they would travel well.
Yep.
Now that they're winning, they seem to travel even better.
A lot of people from Chicago, and
Yep.
they're blue at our hotel.
1-2 pitch. Outside 2-2.
A lot of them in the park right now.
There are a lot of them.
Judging by the colors, looks like about a tie.
Well, this third base side is heavily populated. Over to third, big hop for Chris Bryant. And that will do it. The Cubs have taken game 2 of this series by a final score of 7-1. They got a masterful 6 innings from Kyle Hendricks. And then the bullpen threw 3 scoreless innings. In fact, the bullpen retired all 9 hitters that they faced tonight for the Cubs. Chris Bryant had a nice return. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Kyle Hendricks, who improved to 11-10. And really, guys, it began in that first inning where he was dialing up the changeup.
Yeah, some nights, man, you can look boring as a team if you can't figure a pitcher out. Hendricks was dialed in on that outside corner. About 10 miles an hour difference in his 2 pitches, his fastball, his changeup, and then he got a lot of first pitch strikes with that flop curve. He fell in love with that. And who wants to swing at a curveball? First pitch. Tough night for the Phillies offensively.
They lose it 7-1. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.